What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. Today we are on the test server here and we are messing around with hard 10 ice golem. I'm going to bring you guys a team here that you guys may or may not seen, but it works really well, and it's kind of accessible, and it's super quick, and it doesn't rely on R-Tac, which is a really big thing, and it works really well for those turn attack ice golem tournaments if you guys run into those and want to participate in that. Now, unfortunately, the gear requirement for this team is pretty high. We are doing dungeon hard 10, but it is using some champions that we are familiar with. So hopefully you guys have these guys in the vault. So let's jump into it. We're at the hard 10 dungeon here, and this is the team. Now, Man-Eater is the key champion in this team. Obviously, he can be replaced with a similar champion with unkillable or block damage to protect your team from the ice golem slams. But the big thing that cannot be replaced is this block debuff. Now, the block debuff will protect your team from being frozen, which is a really big deal. Otherwise, the skill order will all get messed up and the run will probably not work out. So if you find another champion, let me know in the comments below that has either an unkillable or block damage with a block debuff on one move. You could also perhaps find a champion with one part of this, maybe block debuffs, and then bring a champion with the unkillable only. Technically, Man-Eater doesn't even need to be fully booked for this to work because his cooldowns will just be refreshed fully. So going out to this team here, we have the reset champion with Kymar. Kymar doesn't need to be fully booked. He doesn't even need to be 60, to be honest, but a little bit of damage would definitely be helpful. But he's basically here just for his seal of magic, just to reset the whole team so we can get another round of unkillable and another round of damage through. Renegade is here, basically similar as well. She needs to be really slow. She doesn't need to be leveled up, doesn't need to be booked or anything like that. If she's dying randomly on the waves, it wouldn't hurt to put her in a shield set to give everybody a bit of a shield if you're having trouble through the waves. But for me, she's basically unbooked. She has, I think, one boot on. And yeah, we have Husk here for the max HP hit. He probably could be any damage dealer. I was messing around a little bit with Thor. The good thing about Thor is that he has a stun on his AoE, which could help against the second wave. But any kind of champion with, some kind of CC would be nice, cherry on top. But obviously you want a champion that can deal significant damage to the boss. And then lastly, Marius. Marius is basically not replaceable in this team. He just deals so much damage. He can handle the waves as well. So yeah, unfortunately, this is a Marius comp, and the gear requirements for Marius is pretty high, but it doesn't mean it can't work without less gear. So I'm going to show you guys the run here real quick. It's a really fast run. It has really low turns as well. So yeah, it can be a really good run for some people, or team for some people. Obviously, for the normal Ice Golem tournaments, you can still run, solo champions with food and all that. But for the turn attack tournament, you want the fastest turn possible, of course. So, all right, let's get into it here. So we got to the boss, unkillable goes up, and then we do the 3 max HP hits. We get slammed here. Occasionally, he triggers our passive with the Marius as well. The turn meter pushback, there it is. Big slam. So you saw that Kymar reset and then Husk went. It's kind of just something special for this team because the Husk uses the AoE on the second wave, mainly for the stun. So this is a 25 turn run. I've gotten this down to 20 turns. It really depends on the Helm Smasher procs for Marius, how quickly we can go through the second wave. But yeah, really strong team here. Obviously, we got a couple epics. We got a rare in here as well. The speed tune is a little bit, we got to be a little bit tight on the speed tune because they have to go in order. But yeah, we'll replay this again and show you guys exactly how it goes if you guys want to see it again. So Marius comes in. Ideally, he one-shots the first wave. If he doesn't, that's fine. It's just going to add a couple turns. You just have to add your presets. So Husk comes in. Hopefully, he can stun some guys, which really helps. Marius needs to take at least one other turn here on the second wave so that he can cycle through and then get his A3 back right away, because he goes before Kymar can reset. So Marius needs to have the A2 back. So you see Husk there going in with the max HP hit after the reset. Obviously, there's going to be some variations to this. No issues with having some different variations depending on your champions. And yeah, there you go. Perfect. 26 turns. And again, honestly, it's going to come down to that wave 2. So if the wave 2 is quick and painless, then yeah, then it's going to be closer to 20 turns. We'll see it one more time, see if there's any issue here. There is potentially some issue here if you get frozen. Like, for example, Marius could potentially get frozen. But we do have him in Stone Skin, so he's not going to get frozen right away. We just lost our Renegade, so that's also potentially one thing that can happen. Again, you can definitely bring in a shield set or properly gear them out. I'm just showing you guys like literally the bare minimum that this could work. I think this might still actually work, but we'll see. We'll see if this actually works here. It's going to be kind of tough. We do get the unkillable back. Let's see if this actually works. I don't know. Losing the Renegade, I don't know if we're going to be able to get the Marius ability back in time here. Let's see. No, we're not going to. So losing the Renegade there, definitely not going to work. All right, guys, so after failing that, losing the Renegade, this time I'm going to add a shield set to the Renegade, a very, very small shield set, and just see if that's enough to protect her against the wave 2. Obviously, like I said, I'm using the bare minimums here just to show you guys that it's possible to run. Obviously, if you guys want to have 100% performance, you're going to have to bring at least some geared out and leveled out champions, but you don't need great gear. I'll show you guys the gear sets afterwards here. Not perfect run here. Obviously, Marius taking a couple extra turns, everybody taking a couple extra turns. So it's probably going to be another 25 run here. 25 turn, sorry, run. But yeah, let's see it finish up here. So we got the turn meter push back, and then we got the Marius passive going in. That's actually really nice just to get one extra little hit in. And it should be over here with the reset, and yeah, that's it. 25 turns here, and we're done. So show you guys the gear on this team here real quick. So my Marius is just my arena Marius. He's very strong. He's geared very well. I'm going to check the Ice Golem bonuses here. The speed, not super important. The Ice Golem is 240 speed. So ideally you probably wanted, 280, 270, 300, somewhere around there. You want him to be relatively fast so he can cycle through his abilities quickly. 7.5k defense, 378 crit damage. These are with the bonuses, by the way. I don't have ignore defense, so if you guys have maxed out your dungeons, then this might be a little bit easier for you. I am running the Cat's Gaze here, which helps me with the waves. That's a big thing, right? If you can't kill the waves with Marius, then it's going to take a little bit more rejigging. So yeah, Crushing Ren, 6 stars. Again, it's going to help you clear the waves. If you can't do it with just Marius alone, you're going to need to bring another damage dealer. And that's definitely viable. It's just not going to be a 25 turn team. So moving on, we got the Kymar here. He's partially geared, 234 speed. He just needs to be slightly faster than the Husk or your DPS if you want the DPS to use their DPS ability on wave 2. For me, I want him to use the DPS ability so that that means it won't be available against the Ice Golem. So that means Kymar needs to go ahead of my Husk. Yeah, so that's my Husk. Not too crazy or anything, relatively reasonable. I haven't re-geared him or anything. But he needs to be roughly, this speed. Doesn't even need to be this speed, to be honest. Just needs to be doing enough crit damage to max out against the boss. Man-Eater is really important. Man-Eater needs to be faster than your Marius. So I got him 314 speed. The rest of the stats don't really matter. If you give him damage, that's a good thing. If you give him a little accuracy, probably a good thing too, so that he can push back the turn meters. But like I said, he doesn't even need to be fully booked. You just need him for this ability, and it's going to get reset, and you don't even need him to be fully booked. And then lastly, we got the Renegade here, like I said, with the small shield set. Her speed, it can probably be anywhere between like 110, 120-ish, up to like 150. You don't want her to go very fast, but you don't want her to be like super, super slow. So that's her. She works pretty fine. I don't think she's booked. She's not booked out. So it's pretty bare bones, right? It's pretty bare bones team, but it definitely works really, really well. All right, guys, so I just removed the Husk and I just added a damage dealer here. I chose Thor. Like I said, any DPS with some CC could be helpful against wave 2. I said that Marius is in Stone Skin, and that definitely helps against wave 2. We'll see it here. So this is a point where you could potentially fail. So I want to make that a little bit clear here. Right here, you don't want Marius to open with the A3 and take the extra turn. Basically, the Stone Skin will protect Marius against any potential freezing from the Gurgos, which is a really big deal. And here we got through pretty quickly. Let's see how Thor does. I mean, as a general damage dealer. Like I said, we were using Husk. I think Husk is a very suitable replacement. You know, he's an epic and he does max HP damage and he has AoE stun. So it works out pretty well. But Thor definitely can work as well in this situation. And are we going to make it? Should be able to make it. And just a little bit there. 27 turns. We shaved off a couple turns earlier with Thor. But yeah, I think, you know, obviously you can sub in for an AoE damage dealer, but you can definitely just bring, you know, a standard roll guard or Husk to fill this spot as well. All right, so the last kind of budget team we want to test here. We got 3 epics here, Kymar and Marius. We got Geomancer here. His damage works really well against the boss as well. He deals a lot of damage to himself after slamming us. And then of course Husk here with the max HP slam is really, really good. He's also good because he brings the AoE stun as well. Now, we do the run here, like there's obviously some parts that can be fully optimized, but I'm just showing you guys how things work with some alternatives. Marius, like I said, ideally clears the first wave on that attack. On this second wave is where a little bit of the fine tuning and the issues start occurring. Mainly because you want to protect yourself against the freezes from the Gurgos, and obviously you don't want to get slammed by the Sir Nick. So Husk is kind of good here because he does bring an AoE stun. But then you have to kind of mix it into this this fight here against the boss. You can kind of see how it works. So HP burn applies first. Marius attacks, and then we get the Husk slam, and then we got the reset in. So Husk has one more slam here, and he can finish off the fight. Unfortunately, Geomancer is taking the extra turns, and there we go. If you have a better Husk, this definitely could work. My Husk is on the slow side. We got a 25 turn team here. This team's actually can be much faster, to be honest. But I think there's a little bit more variance with this one because of the RNG that applies against the wave 2. Also, I have a bit of an RNG set here on Husk. But basically, I just want to show you guys proof of concept here, how this will work. And yeah, so unfortunately, Kymar gets frozen there, which is kind of okay. And then drops everybody. Let's finish this up. There we go. Yeah, it would take a little bit longer if your damage dealer doesn't clean up the second wave. So there we go. Big slam. You want the Geomancer HP burn first before Marius attacks. And then Husk goes in. Unfortunately, Husk did not have his AoE max HP slam available this time. So it's a little bit dicey sometimes here. All right, there we go. So here it should be over. Yep, one slam, 25 turn team. But again, just proof of concept here. The big thing is Geomancer going first before Marius, and you know, I guess after Maneater is fine. Before Maneater is probably better. Just so you don't waste one of the unkillable turns, not like it really matters. And afterwards, ideally, you want your damage dealer to take a turn with their max HP hit, and then Kymar resets everybody, and then it continues again. Now, the problem with that is that the wave 2, you have to figure out how to do the wave 2. Maybe if you had a really strong Kymar, maybe if you had a stun set Geomancer, for example, that could work, help you go through wave 2 a little bit more cleanly. But like I said, my Marius is pretty strong. And it was not able to clear everything perfectly. You know, even has the cat's gaze with the proper, like, good dungeon gems on it. But yeah, there's a little bit of RNG there. Can't clear the wave 2 perfectly. Geomancer here. The big thing about Geomancer is just the speed. He wants to go first. The stats and gear sets don't really matter on him. His survivability does not really matter. Well, I think stun set might actually be worthwhile because you can take care of the wave 2 with the stun, or you can gear him up for some damage, I guess, to clear wave 2. Husk again in the reflex. So here's a little bit of the RNG with the reflex. I've sped him up a little bit just to test how he would work if he was faster than my Kymar. But in the beginning teams that I showcased him in, he was slower because of the way he interacted with the wave 2. The man-eater here, again, he's going to be the fastest. Speed doesn't matter on him. If you have damage stats, that's great. He doesn't need to be fully booked or anything like that. Lastly, I want to show you guys the team that I'll be running. Obviously, this is not accessible to everybody. Don't kill me for this, but this is the team that I got. I got 3 Newts, Marius, and Man-eater. I'll show you guys exactly how this runs. But yeah, this is my super endgame farm team here. Unfortunately, we don't kill the Sir Nick, so that cost us 1 turn. But yeah, this team is a really consistent full auto, probably 15 turn team, roughly 15 turn team, 15 or 16 turn. Let's see. Hit the boss in 11 turns. Let's see what happens here. Should be over, I think. Should probably take off the counterattack masteries from the man-eater after that. Look at the boss. He's afraid. And now, yeah, I probably should take off the counterattack masteries for the Newt, of course. Would speed it up. And there we go. So 16 turns. It can go down to 15 turns. So I got down to 15 turns, 41 seconds. But yeah, I think there's probably some variation where you don't need the 3rd nut, and then you just bring in like a Wukong or something, and the Wukong can just kill the waves and everything. In a perfect run, this would probably 15 turns, but I'm happy with this right now. It's pretty fun. And I don't really have to change anything other than just build a man-eater up to a little bit faster. Just use some spare speed gear. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it for the video. Hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully to give you guys some ideas to build your teams for the Ice Golem. Obviously, it's a very tough dungeon if you don't have the right champions. In this case, these are more optimized endgame teams, but there are some accessible options here like Husk, Geomancer, but the main one is going to be Man-eater. Kymar is a big one too. If you don't have Kymar, you're going to have to pack your team up with damage dealers to try to get all that damage in before your unkillables and stuff wear off. But Man-eater is the big epic here that drives this whole team. And of course, you need Marius as the big damage dealer as well. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for the video. Let me know in the comments below if this was helpful. Thank you guys for watching until the end. And I'll see you guys in the next one.